This is the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine, and a really nice feature on this machine is the fact that it can handle thickness changes. For example, we have just a standard flat felt seam like you'd find on the bottom of a pair of blue jeans. We have thickness changes here. It goes from 3 layers to 9 layers, back down to 3. We're going to see how this machine handles these changes in thickness. We're going to start out here at the 3 layers. It's going to go up to the 9 layers, back down to the 3, and as you can see, it just goes right up and over. I didn't assist the machine, and I'm using just the standard needle that comes in the machine right out of the box. And we have nice, tight, even, consistent stitching, even through the 9 layers. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to double this over. So now we have quite a few thickness changes. We're going to go from 3 layers, we're going to go to 6 layers, we're going to go to 12 layers, back down to the 6. So we're going to start out here at the 3 layers. It's going to go up to the 6, it's going to go up to the 12, back down to the 6. And we'll go ahead and turn it around here. We'll go ahead and start at the 6. It'll go up to the 12, back down to the 6, back down to the 3. And as you can see, it just goes right up and over the various thickness changes. And we still have nice, tight, even, consistent stitching even through the 12 layers here. Just another great feature of the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine. This is the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine, and we just like to demonstrate, we certainly don't recommend you sew yardsticks, and probably would certainly never have a need to, but we just want to demonstrate the heavy-dutiness capability of this, this model of machine. And I just have a plain wooden yardstick here. I'm just going to break off this broken end just to make it a little smoother. We'll go ahead and place that underneath there, and we'll go ahead and start sewing through that. As you can see, it's just feeding it right through. I'm not forcing it, it's just guiding it right on through there, and just giving us nice, tight, even, consistent stitching. And we'll go ahead and take it and sew back the other way. And you can see it's just gliding right on through there. And again, we don't recommend you sew wooden yardsticks, but we're just trying to demonstrate the heavy-duty capability of the Janome HD1000 sewing machine. Just another great feature from the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine. This is the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine, and a really good feature on this machine is that it does have built-in serging stitches. Basically, what a serging stitch is going to do is it's going to encase this raw edge of fabric with thread to keep it from raveling. As you can see, the material ravels quite a bit. And it's also going to give us a seam all in one passing. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and place the material here about 3/4 way underneath the presser foot, and then I'm going to let the needle over edge the side of the material. We're going to go ahead and do stitch E here, which is just our regular serging stitch, and it's encasing our raw edge of fabric with thread, and it's also giving us a nice tight seam. And as we can see here, we've encased the raw edge of fabric with thread. Keeps it from raveling off. You can see it can't ravel. And if we go ahead and turn this inside out here, you can see that it's given us a nice tight seam. And it's done that all in one passing. Now another great feature is that this machine does have a built-in serging stretch stitch, which we're going to take our stitch length knob here, turn it to SS, which stands for stretch stitch. We're going to go ahead and turn our pattern selector dial here to G, which is another built-in serging stitch, and we're going to use this stretching material here, and we're going to go ahead and do that serging stitch right here on the edge of the material. Again, we're going to place the material about 3/4 way underneath the foot and let it arc over to the right, and it's going to encase our raw edge of fabric with thread, keep it from raveling off, and it's going to give us a nice tight seam. But the really important thing here is that with this being a stretch stitch, it's also going to add elasticity to the stitch. So see, I can pull that stitch, a nice elasticity to it. It doesn't pop out. It stretches with the material. It's encased this raw edge of fabric with thread, keeps it from raveling off. Plus, if we turn this like this, it's also given us a nice, tight, professional looking seam. Just another great feature of the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine. This is the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine, and a nice feature on this machine is the fact that it does have built-in stretch stitches. Basically, I'm going to let this material represent a stress area, underarm, seat of pants, or even a stretch material. As you can see, this material does have quite a bit of stretch to it. I'm going to sew just a regular ordinary straight stitch on this machine. I'm not doing the stretch stitches right now. This is just a regular conventional straight stitch like you find on any sewing machine. And what I'm going to show you is once we get done here, I'm going to, let's pretend this is underarm, seat of pants. As soon as you bend over, you're going to hear, those stitches. See, all those stitches just popped out. Now what we can do is we can take our stitch length dial here, we can turn it around to SS, that stands for stretch stitch. That's going to turn on our second stitches here, our second bank of stitches. These are all going to be our stretch stitches. So now what a stretch stitch does is it basically does 2 stitches forward, 1 stitch back. It's going over the stitch 3 times. So not only is this good for stretch materials, it's also good where you need a lot of reinforcement, underarm, seat of pants, something where you want extra durability in the stitch. And whenever I start sewing here, you'll notice that the material is going back and forth. It's doing 2 stitches forward, 1 stitch back. And so it's just like me sitting there going over that stitch 3 times, except it's doing it here all in one passing. And we'll go ahead and do the same test here. As you can see, we have no popping of the stitches. We have nice elasticity to the stitch. It doesn't pop out. Really good reinforcement. Just another great feature of the Janome HD1000 heavy-duty sewing machine.